There are a few times when you meet someone who will change your life forever. I first met Kevin Mlay in Tanzania in 2006. He quickly became more than someone to help or even just a friend. He became my brother. It took me 4 years to make it back to Tanzania, but I never forgot about Kevin. We had been able to stay in touch through Facebook and Skype, but it was great to actually get to see him face to face in 2010. He was out of the orphanage in 2010 and was struggling just to get by. When I interviewed Kevin and his friend Innocent Samu back in 2010, there was one main thing they wanted: an education. Thanks to support from my family, Kevin and Innocent have been able to stay in school. This past summer, I once again got to see Kevin face to face and spend over a month with him. Kevin taught me some soccer moves, how to cook African food, showed me around town, and even took care of me when I had a staph infection in my foot. Some days the pain was so bad Kevin virtually had to carry me from my bed to the bathroom or to a table. The whole time Kevin only asked for two things for himself: an x-ray for his hurt shoulder and glasses so he could see in school. The only other thing Kevin really wanted was for me to meet his family, especially his little sister, Quizette. She is the one all pink in the picture. In the past year, she had dropped out of school and was working as a servant for $15 a month in someone's home. The rest of his family lived on the base of Kilimanjaro, most of whom still only spoke their mother tongue. Though they welcomed me in warmth and love, even in Africa, their poverty stood out. Kevin volunteered to show me what life was like growing up.
Alright, yeah, my name is Kevin and this is my grandpa, and I've been living this place for like a long time since I was young. And actually my grandpa is sleep here. I used to sleep with him inside here. If you want to come see around, welcome.
Kevin showed me what life had been like growing up with his grandparents. In a corner of the mud hut, he had spent many nights with his grandfather, trying to keep warm. In her old age, Kevin's grandmother explained that many nights she now spends shivering, trying to get through the night. There was also a small area where they kept the goats in at night, providing a little warmth for the animals and Kevin's family. Kevin showed me some charcoal in a small pan on the ground. It was their kitchen. Kevin explained that often for months, all his family would eat would be plantains and beans. Usually they only had enough to cook once at night. Sometimes there'd be a little left over, and that's what they would eat for breakfast the next day. When Kevin was first taken in by an orphanage, he puked at almost every meal he ate because his stomach wasn't used to different kinds of food. Fading memories told the story of a life that had been better. All right, Kevin, will you explain to us where we are now?
Yes, and long time ago, I had like a parents, and they passed away.
Kevin showed me his first home and talked about what life had been like when both his parents were still living. Even this comparably happy time was riddled with sadness. Kevin's father had been distant and an alcoholic, but he said his mom was wonderful, a strong Christian. She worked all day to make sure they had plenty of food. She got him up in the morning and ready to go to school and talked to them about their days afterwards. She shared stories of the Bible and of Africa with them. But when her husband passed away, it was too much for her. Only around a month after Kevin's dad passed away, his mom also died. When I asked Kevin what she died of, he said shock, that they had just found her dead in the woods. He said most likely it had been a heart attack. Trying to take care of her kids with no husband in one of the poorest countries in the world had been too much for her to physically handle. At age 11, Kevin found himself the eldest of 3 kids. He was now responsible for both his sisters, for coping with the death of both his parents.
As you can see this, it's my dad where we've been buried.
This is where your dad was buried?
Yeah, this is my dad.
Yeah.
And that was my mom.
Your mom was buried over there.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a long time because I miss them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a week, Kevin said he just went crazy. People would talk to him, but he couldn't respond. It was like all language had left him, like he didn't feel human. Eventually, Kevin and his two sisters, Frida and Quizette, made it over to their grandparents. After months of living in extreme poverty and often going hungry, Kevin and his older sister, Frida, were taken into an orphanage. After leaving the orphanage, Kevin has struggled, but he has been able to stay in school thanks to support from my family. He is planning on graduating this semester from secondary school and dreams of going on to college to study either computer engineering or computer science. He will need help from others if he's ever going to achieve this dream. What Kevin has been worrying about the most lately, though, is his younger sister, Quizette. She had stayed with her grandparents and spent many days and nights hungry. She had been able to graduate from primary school, which is free in Tanzania, but had been unable to afford to go on to secondary. In tears, she had begged Kevin to find a place for her to live in Moshi with him and to help her to get through school. Unable to even take care of himself without help, Kevin could do nothing but tell her he was sorry. He spent numerous days walking the city streets trying to find a job for his sister. Over and over he had been rejected, until finally he found a family that said she could work as a servant in their home for $15 a month. Kevin said Quizette is smart, though, and she dreams of being a nurse. He begged me to find help for her.
Like my parents died and my grandpa didn't have money to support her life. So she used to work in the street and then sell foods so she can get a bit help to feed herself. So it was a big problem even to me. I can't even reach her because I'm getting help and I have no anything. When I look at her, I feel so much sad with her. She's called Cosette and she's now, I think she might get to school soon as I pray for it. And everybody, if you're there, can you pray for her so she can get school and education? Because in our country without no education, there's nothing, so you can't do anything. Your life will be as it is. So, thank you, everybody.
While my family and I will pay for it if we need to, we are now looking at sponsoring 4 students in Africa: Kevin, Quizette, Innocent, and a girl, Diana, in Kenya. If you would like to support Kevin or Quizette or another one of the students, Innocent or Diana, please send me a message on Facebook or contact me at upshawedit@gmail.com. Tuition for secondary is usually around $600 a semester, $1,200 a year. University is about double that. We usually try to cover between 50 and 75% of their school and living expenses. Also, feel free to give me a call at 423-863-6332. Thank you, and God bless.